I had a lot of questions about number 7 of our Module 2 mid-module task, and I thought it would probably be beneficial if I just went ahead and went over it with you. So the problem is that the table shows the temperature changes between Monday morning in Bedford, New York, over a 4-hour period after a cold front came through. And part A is telling us that the beginning temperature was negative 13 degrees at 5 a.m. So I've noted that here. Beginning temperature, negative 13 degrees. We want to know, what is the approximate temperature at 9 a.m.? Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that we started at 5 a.m. So this is our start time, and our end time is at 9. And so what we got to do is we have to go through the changes. Now, remember, these are the changes in temperature, not the actual temperature. So what that means is, if we're starting right now, if we're starting at negative 13 degrees, we have negative 13 degrees, and the temperature is now changing. So I'm going to put a plus here, by negative 3 degrees. So we have negative 13, and we're going to add to that negative 3. And what we end up with is we end up with a value of negative 16 degrees. Apologize for that. So now we're at negative 16 degrees. And we're then going to take that negative 16 degrees, and we're going to go down another negative 2 degrees. We could say that now we're at negative 18 degrees. And between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., it drops 6 more degrees. So we went from negative 18 degrees. We're going to drop 6 more degrees. That's now negative 24 degrees. Luckily, we have negative 24. So we're at negative 24, and now we're going to add now 7 degrees, because it changes by 7 degrees. So negative 24 plus 7 puts us back negative. And so because that's where we ended, we would say that the ending time is negative 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, part B says that the same cold front hit Hartford, Connecticut the next morning. All right. The temperature dropped 7 degrees Fahrenheit each hour from 5 till 9. What was the beginning temperature if the temperature at 9 was negative 10? So if we took the same type of a chart, all right, so we have from 5 to 6 a.m., from 6 to 7 a.m., from 7 till 8 a.m., and from 8 until 9 a.m. If they told us the temperature drops 7 degrees, so minus 7, minus 7, minus 7, minus 7. Well, we know that these are dropping by 7, and we're going to end at negative 10 degrees. So if I wanted to move backwards and figure out where I started, if I'm moving this way, now they're dropping, but now we're going to move backwards. So that really means that we're going to add. So between 8 and 9, we would have our negative 10 that we started with. If we add 7, we're now at negative 3. And so if we were at negative 3 here and we add 7, now we're at positive 4. And if we were at positive 4 and we added 7 to come backwards, we're now at 11 degrees. And if we were at 11 degrees when we finished, but we had to have subtracted the 7, so now we're adding the 7, We're now at 18 degrees, which means we started at 18 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's check this though. 18 minus 7 is 11. Minus 7 is 4. Minus 7 is negative 3. Minus 7 is negative 10, and that's where we end up. So our answer here is 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Which takes us to part C. In answering part B, Josiah and Kate used different methods. Josiah said his method involved multiplication, while Kate said she did not use multiplication. Both students arrived at the correct answer. How is this possible? Well, let's think about it. If we were going to add 7 4 different times, could we have said that we started with negative 10 and add to that the 7 times 4? So order of operations tells me to multiply. Different sign, subtract. 28 minus 10 is 18. Use the sign of the larger absolute value, positive 18 degrees. Whereas Kate, I'm going to assume Kate used the same format we did, where she just added negative 10 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. So is it possible? Yes, it is. Multiplication is just repeated addition. I hope this helps shed light on some things. If you have further questions, just please let me know.